How you guys doing? This is episode 3 of Skyrise podcast. It's co-host King Duncan.
Henry Walker, get it.
For sure, for sure. We're going to talk about a couple different things today. Um, I'm gonna start with the first category. High school NIL movement. Obviously it's a trending topic. First topic. Henry asked you about this one. Young athletes signing big deals, early, right? So the question, how are high school NIL deals, and for example, it's a kid called, Darius Acuff, by Reebok, Diabell, Gatorade, they reshaping the future of youth basketball and football, right? So my question to you is, um, as far as these deals in the football section, right? And the restructuring of how it is. Do you think, in football and basketball, do you think that, it's leading into obviously better shaping of what it used to be to what it is now, I would say.
I mean, how I look at it is this. These shoe companies, they get free endorsements. What you play with a sponsored team, right? You play with a Nike team or a Reebok team or an Adidas team or a Puma team. They're getting free endorsements. You see what I'm saying? When I was coming up, my team was sponsored by Reebok. That's a free endorsement. We were going everywhere, playing everybody, wearing Reebok, right? We didn't see a percentage of any of that. Now the landscape has changed, and these kids are cashing in. So my thing is, why not? Why not let them cash in and let them get a piece of the pie and monopolize, their abilities? Who's to say, man? We speak about this all the time, man. One injury can change the trajectory of somebody's career like overnight, just like that, right?
True.
So why not strike while the iron's hot? That's my whole thing. Why not, you know, capitalize off your ability when you can? Any other uh, any other business or any other avenue, they're doing that. There's no
Right.
restriction on, oh, well, you're this age or that age. If you create a product and you can bring it to market at 7 years old, you'll get paid. You know what I'm saying? But they
100%.
they make it to where it's like, oh, well, they're playing sports, so it shouldn't be allowed. I mean, I just don't understand that part of it. All right, now we get into a space now where these guys are getting deals. You getting a Reebok deal out of high school. I'm happy for them, man, for sure.
Right.
And they should be doing this. They should be allowing these guys to go out there and make money off their name, just like any tennis player would. All right.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, like you say, they've been doing that and, overseas and as far as giving guys the early access, the understanding more so, of monetizing, making any money. So I 100%, I get you on that one. I would say kind of moving it to kind of focus on the college, right? College and the NIL sector thing,
Yeah.
right? So you know what's going on with these recruits, man. They come into schools, right? They expect one thing. First of all, that's the elephant in the room. Recruits be like, I saw a video the other day, and it was a guy making fun of players who nowadays players calling top schools like, yeah, you know what, man, I need $3 million. You know, I need a coaching job for my brother, and you got to get my homeboy a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Just like outrageous stuff. But you know, when dudes don't get their way, they leave. So I guess my question to you is that with guys, leaving top programs over, different NIL disputes, they may want more money than they expected, etc. How should schools balance money promises as well as back in the day, which is now kind of was crazy, the player development side of it, right? That used to be the only thing. Now it's so many different things associated to it.
I really think it should be incentive based. I think they should cap the max amount that you should get just by signing on the dot. For instance, let's say they cap it at around 500K. You're guaranteed to get 500K, right?
Right.
You go through school year, no trouble, your grades are right, you get that other stipend, right? Now they should branch it. It should be 2-year contracts. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. If we're going to pay, we should at least get 2 years, or you should just go to the league and the contract is void then. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't
Yeah.
just be these 1-year deals where I can go get $1 million here, then I'll transfer, go get another $1 million here. Nah, let's just make it a business, right? Let's start putting these salary caps in like they got in basketball. Let's even the field. All right, let's say these Power 5 conferences, these other conferences, let's start revenue sharing so some of these lower tier schools can actually have a chance to get in the game, right? I mean, there's so many smart people in the NCAA that I don't understand how this thing isn't getting formulated and getting put together, right? So
I mean, I agree.
it's leading me to think that they don't want it that way. They don't want any order with this thing. They want this thing to crash and burn so they can go back and try to take the money away from the game. That's what I really think.
I kind of see what you're saying here, because it's, if they was, even if they would have did, right, you said 2-year deals, right? Think about how honest it would make the kids. Like, they really have to be, but it also is this though. I would say that it also is like this. It would have to be different stipulations of performance. Because let's just say if it's 2 years, it would have to be room for, all right, you got me for, let's just say a kid who came in and the head coach believes in him, right?
Yeah.
And he like, you know what, I want to give you $500,000, even though you can go to any other school, right, at a D2 level, right, or a low D1 somewhere, and kill, and then go in the portal and get more money, right?
Yeah.
They keep him by giving him a respectable amount, but if he goes above and beyond, they got to give him more money. But they have him for the second year.
Yeah, I believe that. Like you have an escalator in there, you know, and it's like I said, it's got to be some other way that we can do this to where people aren't just jumping ship for the sake of. I mean, I can get more money over there. It's just, it looks bad, but I get it. This is the Wild West right now.
Wow.
And you know, I'm just a different type of dude. I'm just a different type of dude, man. If I'm somewhere and I'm getting what I want and I'm being treated fairly, I'm cool. I'm not looking for no extra. Um, I'm not looking to be taken care of in a different type of way, man. Just, the contract is the contract. Let's play it out. Like, let's do that. I'm not looking for no extra benefits or this and that. You get what you negotiate. You know what I'm saying? And these kids they're very receptive. They've seen guys like me, guys like Bees, guys like Carmelo, a lot of guys, top guys come in, play for free, and really get nothing out of it. And so now they swinging. They swinging for the fence, and I don't blame them. I know K-State just signed a guy, I think from Memphis. He signed for a bag. Get your money, bro.
Right.
I got no problem with that, but these dudes got to understand, when you sign that paper and you're getting paid millions of dollars, you got to produce. You got to be the best player on the floor every single night, and I hope you're ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're ready to go out there, produce, and show people why you're getting this money. Because now it goes beyond, I'm a scholarship player. Nah, we paid you to do a certain thing, and you better be able to do that. You better be able to handle everything that comes with being the $2 million man. You see what I'm saying?
To me, to me, I don't see the issues, because it's not like these young guys can't look in the past and see how all these dudes that they look up to put on the line for no money.
No money.
Right. And then you get to be like, man, I'm so grateful. I don't feel like they feel like that, bro. I don't feel like they sitting there like that.
I mean,
thank you, God, for me being in high school or in college this time and not 10 years before. You know what I'm saying?
it's not their fight. You get what I'm saying? It's just like you look at the NBA now. These guys should be thinking Dr. J. These guys should be thinking Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Jordan, right? These guys should have nothing to say about the old school guys because those are the guys that put the game down, right? And paved the way for you guys to be getting supermax contracts now, right? But that's not their fight. They don't care about the stuff that those dudes went through. They getting paid.
You know what? It's funny though. The basketball gods have a way of realigning shit, and I'm gonna tap into why I said that, later on in the conversation. But
Yeah,
but no. Next topic. NIL rankings, right? Recruiting top players in the country, right? So, for example, let's name a couple top guys, right? And these people are projected $1 million projections in high school, right? Juniors in high school going to be seniors. You see names like Brandon McCoy. I got the top 10 list right here. Brandon McCoy, Taj Ariza, Jason Crow. You got let me see here. You got a kid named Caleb Holtz. Like these guys, they got so many schools talking to their parents.
yeah.
We got Nike, Adidas, Puma, fucking every brand, right?
Breathing
Coming
down
to
the
their
neck.
house, selling them shoes, saying we want to sign you.
Yeah.
Bro, there's deals. There's kids who took deals. I'm not gonna say names, who took deals, bro, where they got a bag from a shoe company,
Mm-hmm.
a bag from the university, and they got their bag early.
Cash out.
They got their bag early, so
Cash
it's
out.
like the
It's the same
question.
as it's the same as if they were playing tennis. Imagine you're 14-year-old prodigy. Wouldn't they put yourself out there to play against the best in the world?
But that's the thing, though, right? The way that basketball does it, I like you use tennis reference, right? In tennis, they parade that around, they promote it, and I love it. For
Yeah.
basketball, I feel like they parade it around like it's like they let you know when to start talking. Like they wait till like your senior year, you about to get to college. Oh yeah, now I'm with
You
Adidas.
know,
Now I'm with Nike, right?
our sport is weird like that, man. Our sport is it's a weird sport like that where it's just I don't know
They're in control. It's a control thing, bro.
that
It's
it's
like a
that they
system.
got you. Do you hear this about hockey players? Do you
Nope.
hear this? Do you hear this about rugby players? Do you hear this about baseball players? What about them? These dudes been going pro out of high school for how long? They've been able to go pro in that sport, get paid, go play another sport, and decide if I'm gonna go back or not. Right? That was never an issue.
Right.
It's just football and basketball for some odd reason that I don't know.
Man, it's the level of control, man. But then
That's
it gets to my point, right? With the valuations, with kids being aware. Let's say kids are juniors in high school right now. They're in the summertime,
yeah.
and you got people telling them, "Bro, you can get two." Like, think about a kid in high school, bro. You can get $3 million, bro. I looked up today, like you are $5 million. Like this type of information, does it help or does it hurt the focus of these players?
Man, it depends on the person, man. But I really think that I think knowledge is key. You should know this stuff. You should know what your worth is. You should already be planning, especially if you're trying to go and make a career out of playing this game. You should know your business. What's wrong with you being on top of your business? It's sort of like they want to keep you dumbed down, blinded, ignorant, so they can take advantage. Why not right now at 17, 16, 15, however old they are, where they can start making money? Why don't you learn about money now? What's the problem?
Honestly,
What's the problem?
there should be. This is the crazy part, right? There's no reason why parents of all these kids are making money, right? If this is the rule change and this is going to happen, right? And it's going to happen to college, why not install like specific classes for athletes to know how to manage money? Because you've never basketball. What's the difference between basketball players, hockey players, and
The family dynamic,
the
right?
family dynamics?
We're
Exactly.
talking about an impoverished community for the most of us. I'm not saying that's all because I
Right.
don't want to be stereotypical. Some
For
some
sure,
of
for
these
sure.
kids come from great families, established parents,
It's a
but
small percentage though.
for the
Majority's
most of
coming from
us,
a different
we
background.
come from a very challenged background, right?
For
We come
sure.
from the trenches. We come from very impoverished neighborhoods. The last thing people are thinking about is investing money, saving money, buying assets, um, and things of that nature. Like it's just not talked about, right?
I mean,
I had to learn about money as I got money. Nobody taught me this. I didn't have anybody when I was 10 telling me how to, get a bank account. Hey, buy a CD, put your money. Nobody taught me that stuff, bro. I had to learn that as I grew. That's
I
something
think
that now I can teach my children because I've learned it through trials and tribulations.
right
And,
yourself.
I
Right.
didn't have my mom and dad wasn't telling me about that. They weren't telling me, hey, buy assets, right? Don't buy stuff that can depreciate. Put your money here, invest in this. I didn't have that. I had no knowledge of the stock market until I had knowledge of the stock market. I went and learned myself. Like nobody was telling me that. And then when I did ask, and this is where I said the game is shaky, right? You got people, you got agents that you would think that got your best interest at heart, right? Some of
Right.
these dudes are only in it to make money off, bro. They don't. You can go ask them, hey man, what is this and that? They're gonna give you the runaround.
No, I mean, I
You know,
think
I'm not saying it's all agents though, but people that
it,
I've dealt with are real. They real scumbags. They ain't really trying to give you the keys. Now there are some great agents out there that have put their clients in great positions, taught their clients things, treated their clients like family, and there's some that don't. You get what I'm saying?
no,
So
I understand.
it's a mixed bag with us, man.
I mean, it's tough, brother. I mean, I can definitely, like I said, from outside, I have my own, all my. I come from back in the day, back when you was getting paid AAU under the table. You was one of the best guys, and it was through high school too. You know what I'm saying? Like so, when just thinking about the mind frame I was in, right, going into house, going to college, and just to think about kids have this idea, this concept, this knowledge,
Yeah.
access to money, right? It's to me, I feel like it's too good to be true in the sense of like, it's like a setup. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for it, but the reason why I say it's a setup is we already know what happened when we let dudes come straight out of high school into the pros and that long gap of NBA players who went broke. Everybody knows about that, right?
Mhm.
So to me, this is going to breed that times 100.
Yes, but we also let's kill the narrative of just guys out here just spending frivolous, right? I know a lot of guys that were actually robbed from financial guys and institutions are making investments and actually getting robbed, man. And so
NBA
it's
guys, right?
yeah, some league guys. It's a dirty game, and this is why I'm saying that we need financial literacy. We need classes. We need to be able to know exactly what we're looking at and know how to handle our business accordingly, so that we don't have to branch out and rely on somebody else's knowledge when that we don't have that knowledge ourselves, right?
True, true.
Because
I
a lot of
mean,
these guys just put their faith in somebody. Hey, man, you'll handle that, and think that they're handling business, and then here in the long run, the federal government is coming to collect, and that's
true.
where a lot of guys go broke right there. And it's the stereotype about like, oh, these guys are out. A lot of these guys ain't doing that. A lot of these guys are being lied to, being fed false papers, manipulated stats, and then when the other shoe drops, right, and it comes, oh man, you're 5, 6, 7 years late on these taxes. Now you got penalties and all of this stuff. You owe all these states, and it's a hefty bill, man. And that will kill your net worth when you got to liquidate and pay those folks because they don't want to hear
Yeah.
let me get
I
back
mean,
to you. None of that, right?
right, right. I mean, I would say you 100% right about the NBA guys, right? I feel like it's a stereotype. Not all cases are the same.
Hmm.
But when I'm speaking on the rate now and these parents, right, and I'm gonna go more in depth about it, right? The reason why it's going to be 100 times worse is because now kids are still minors
Yeah,
and their parents have control technically of all their expenses. So if a kid is worth 5 million, so is his mom, so is his dad, and
yeah.
depending on where their mind is. And think about the parents of of this generation right now.
Oh man, that's cool. That's up.
Woo! The parent. I'm just
Ooh-wee.
talking about when I say parents, I mean the people who are
Ooh-wee.
45,
Ooh-wee.
50 on down. How they minds
Oh,
are
that's going up.
fucked.
That's going up.
You
You
feel me?
that's going up. And I just pray that, man, I see where you're going, where it's gonna look like, oh, it's gonna be chaotic, man,
It's
because
going to get bad because
it's gonna be bad.
the reason why it's changing every year is because the rules the people I just named, right? The
Yeah,
people this season, the people who went to the Made All American this year,
yeah.
that was probably the first year that all of high school is getting paid what they deserve off their evaluation. You know what I'm saying? So this was the first year that everybody really getting paid, and now it's about to go through the
Oh, it's
roof
about to
with this.
blow up. But the thing is, man, let it blow up. I love it. Let these young boys get paid, man. Let them get paid.
But how does that look? How does that
I love
image
it.
look? Like, think
I
about
love
an
it.
AU tournament. You got all these kids at an AU tournament. Like, imagine like that. You got a whole bunch of
Team,
multimillionaires
a
running
team
around
full of
splashing.
millionaires.
Right.
A team full of teenage millionaires. I love it. Why not?
Yeah, I love it too, man. Hey, it's
Because
dope.
when I train and I go around these places and um I'm playing and I'm seeing different families and I'm training different kids, you'd be surprised at what some of these kids are pulling up in. But nobody's got an issue with that, right?
Right.
I've trained some kids that pulled up in Rolls Royce Cullinans with a driver and security. Nobody's saying anything about that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Why is it different for them and different over here? Who cares? You see what I'm saying? My
I
thing
feel
is,
you.
you don't get to pick and you shouldn't be able to pick and choose.
We live in a
That,
pocket watching generation, though.
but that's the thing, and they say that steals your joy the most. Watching somebody else will that's the thief of joy. I'm not worried about these. I'm glad for these guys, bro. I'm glad that now these guys are able to capitalize off their work. And if they take anything from my story, bro, get every single cent that you can, bro, because all it takes is one bad landing, bro, and your trajectory, your projections, all of that changes. You get what I'm saying? But everybody seems to forget that this game is a short game. This game isn't a lifelong
Long
job.
time game. Some get lucky.
This
Some
ain't
get lucky.
and there's a very few. Everybody wish they could be LeBron, dog. It's just not happening, bro. That man's a gift. He's got the great genetic. He's got everything from God that you could have in a human body to play that long, and that's fine. Everybody ain't playing 22 years, bro. The average career is what, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, I
All
believe.
right, so strike while you can, man. Set yourself up to where when this dance is over and that music stops playing, you can just transition into something else. You get what I'm saying? For too long, they want to throw out this narrative. Oh, the players are broke. Well, shit. If they were able to capitalize off their earning potential from the time that they were able to earn a dollar to the time the dollar stopped, they would be in a better financial situation.
Man, there's a guy, he played with you, comes to mind, that I believe if they had NIL back then, he would have been just as big as who can I give an example of a guy? Um, so you know Wally Judge, correct?
Oh man, that's my guy, bro.
Right. So
Wally was a beast, bro.
exactly. So I'm from DC. I went to Curl, so I used to play against.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Curl Rodney, mind you.
Yeah.
So I used to play against Riley. I played against them. They played with these, so whatever. Riley was a killer. I mean, bruh,
Yeah,
when
real deal.
I'm talking about his highlight tape, bro,
Real deal.
was sick. Back in the highlight times and shit, I'm like, this nigga going to the league. He going to the A, right? Even
Yeah.
beyond the A,
He
it
would
was
have got
like
paid.
he
He
could
would
have
have
been one
got
and
paid.
done.
Yeah, he
I
would have got
thought.
paid.
You know what I'm saying? But my point is that this NIL stuff, it kills me because everybody can look at the dudes who was able to make it without it, right? You could only imagine the kind of I just feel like you know how it is from around the area, right? You know how it is, bro. The people who make it, they make it. But if you don't make it, you gotta kind of gracefully bow out.
Yeah,
You
yeah, they
feel what I'm
forget
saying?
about you. They act like you don't exist.
Exactly, exactly.
And
So it's my.
even if you do,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like if there was an introduction to the NIL sooner, and I'm only thinking about this because I'm just thinking about all the dudes, bro, who just was killers, man. That would have got a bag. And it's like you can't bring up NIL and not think about that. It's impossible to not think about what this valuation would be if dudes was in high school. Like how much things would have been better for hoopers. And I guess it just comes down to and this is just come obviously down the rabbit hole type of conversation. But it's a hell of a conversation, man.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah.
that.
I got one for you. Um, I grew up with a prodigy, and I'm talking about. Listen, man, like you know how some people got to develop skill.
Right.
Like I'm a product of work. I wasn't like I had to learn basketball.
Right.
I grew up with OJ Mayo, bro. Like I never seen this cat not be able to play basketball. Like we were, you know how you start in, you start in pee wee basketball, and some of them can't dribble, can't shoot. Bro, he was doing that already. Left hand, right hand layups. He could shoot threes. He could shoot free throws. He did all the dribble moves. There was no phase where it was like, all right, he green. You know what I'm saying? It was no phase like that, bro. Like none. Imagine his NIL valuation at 9 years old.
Crazy.
9 years old, bro. I mean, the man went to Nike camp in damn near fifth grade, sixth grade, bro. So
Yeah.
so so
The goats, man. One of the goats,
what we
bro.
talking about then? You think this dude wouldn't have made him? Come on, bro.
Yeah, he would have 100% been offered. And you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy, right? A part of me believes that they've been had this in play, but they wanted to wait until the level of talent was so low that it wouldn't
We only got to pay a few.
few people compared to if they would have did it years before. Everybody was getting a bag. It was.
Exactly. And I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers and say, oh, the game, but it has declined, bro. It has declined, top to bottom. Um, there's a separation now between like the top tier guys and then there's everybody else. So every class, coming up, bro, you had at least 20, 30 guys strong, bro.
True.
20, 30 guys strong.
I mean,
Now,
I was say even this. If you look at the rankings, the 2010, 2009 rankings even before, right? Back in that time, funny thing, people said my class, 2010, was the most talented class of the last 10 years.
was that Anthony Davis? No.
No, the 2010 class of high school. That was
Okay,
like,
I'm talking about draft. Let me see who was
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
nah, 2010 class, guess what they were talking? 2010 class of high school. And if you think about it, man, we had some people. I mean, I would have to look up some names behind
Who was the top player in that class?
Josh Shelby.
Ah, man,
Will Barton, Josh Shelby. Um,
that was a deep class, bro. That was a pretty deep class, bro. That whole 2000s to, I mean, shit, you can go all the way back to 90 something, man. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so you
Oh,
see Harrison Barnes, Jared Sullinger, Kyrie Irving,
yeah,
Brandon Knight.
that was a big class there, brother.
Yeah,
Brandon
you
Knight,
know what I'm saying?
Brandon Knight's official, bro. Official tissue.
Yep. Perry Jones, Will Barton,
Harry, Will, yes, sir.
Tristan Thompson, Deion Waiters, Corey Joseph, Ray McCallum, Reggie Bullock. Yeah, it goes deep,
It's a
man.
deep class, bro. You see what I'm saying? Now that's what you at least 20 guys, and that's at least you know what I mean. That's a lot of bread to be dishing out,
A
bro.
lot of money. They saved the bro. They saved themselves.
And then what kills me is they go back and they made a cutoff where they doing back pay. All right, they're doing back pay. They made a cutoff in like 2015 or 2017 where they're not going to give out any money after that.
This is real.
Yeah, man, I got a few guys that were in on the payment and stuff like that was keeping me in the loop. I'm like, dog, how do they decide that? I mean, they should go back. And I know people gonna give some backlash. Oh, man, every man that's put on a jersey that's contributed to their school should get something.
They should reevaluate this something. 100%.
Every man that's put on that walk through there and contributed to that school. And you know, and when I say contributed, I mean really went out there and made an impact with their play. You know, made a notable impact with their play. Should be getting some type of compensation. Now they're gonna say, well, how do you determine that? You know, well, shit. Did you make all conference? Like,
I got something else for you. What about the fact that all these dudes the years before who did JUCO years and the JUCO rule was gone, so you get them 2 years back.
I love it.
That's just crazy, bro. Like to
I
me,
love it.
it's crazy because it's like,
I love it.
what's the age to cut it off? Like
I love it.
who can use it? Who can't use it?
I love it. My thing is this. Now, what is it going? It's going to require because now you got to develop skills now because you really got to hone in and focus on your craft now because these coaches ain't looking for somebody that's still green and still raw and underdeveloped, right? Now it puts the onus on let's really get in this lab and let's really develop talent. Let's really develop skill because they can go to JUCO and get a 20-something-year-old dude that's been in college 2 years that already know the game instead of dealing with some 18-year-old that they got to teach how to play basketball. I played with guys that don't know where the elbow's at, bro.
How that happen?
Come on, man. How are you here? Who taught you? You ain't know. Nobody taught you the game of basketball. You don't know how to make an L cut, a V cut. You don't know what a backdoor cut is. You don't know where the dunker spot is. You don't know where the hash is. You don't know what three-quarter court is.
I mean,
You think it's simple. Some guys are like some guys. The game chooses them. They don't choose the game, dog.
yeah, yeah, I agree, brother. I mean, it's one of those, one of those things, man, where it's the way it rolls out. I see. I'm going to move on to one more topic. It's about touch base. Matter of fact, we're gonna move past the youth. We're gonna focus on these playoffs, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so, um, next topic: Nick's chemistry under pressure is question, right? So, let me get this question underway. All right, cool. So, Jalen Brunson, Cat struggling in playoffs. Obviously, you saw what happened, right? Previous games.
Mm-hmm.
How critical was it for Cat and Brunson to step up when they did to get that win? How critical was it at that time?
I mean, you just save yourself a lot of embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? Like for Cat, you got to understand he got traded for Julius Randle, right? Now you guys find yourselves in these conference finals, and you got benched that pretty much that whole fourth quarter of the last game, right? So it's
Correct.
like, damn, for all of that, we could have kept Randle. So I know his ego's like, nah, nah, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna show why I'm a hot commodity. I'm gonna show why, you know, I was needed here. And I think he proved that. But now you got to do it again. You got to do it again. And I just think I think he settles too much for the three.
He does settle. He does settle. I agree with you on that. I would say this though. The way you know the basketball, right? You know when you going through your whole season, you shooting threes, you hitting them, and then you in playoffs, right? And you know most bigs in the NBA, bro, they settle. Who shoot the three, they settle, right?
Yeah.
They want to settle. So by him, he basically old schooled it. He said, "I'm gonna go in and work my way up, let the
Yeah.
ball go through the net a couple times,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna shoot threes again."
Yeah.
Like by him doing that, I felt like I haven't seen a player in his position really put that kind of the ones who are versatile at least.
But that's what it did. It showed his versatility, and now it teases like, damn, bro, you could really be something special. You see what I'm saying?
I saw a whole new legacy.
If he can keep that up, if he can just attack that rack, them threes gonna be there, bro.
They gonna be there. They gonna be there.
If he could just attack that rack, bro, it would, man. But for those that haven't played, those that aren't initiated, that shit takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, going to the whole.
And we talking about playoff basketball, my man. The energy level is way different than a regular season game, man. You're going so hard out there. Like every play is critical. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. It's tough to do that. But if he can sustain and keep attacking that rim, I think he'll get more chances to shoot those threes. It's funny how that works. Instead of just settling, if he attacks, then now they got something to guard. They'll back up a little bit.
Right, a little bit, and then there we go.
Now you got that J. Now you feel me? And I think that if he can continue to do that, I mean, because none of them boys can guard him. I mean, if we being for real,
they this is the thing, right? They can't guard, and this is me being. I'm gonna go as far as say he may arguably be the best power forward in the game right now in basketball by the way he played. I'm just thinking about this, right? I'm thinking about the fact that he already had a natural big build, right? Mm-hmm. All we needed was for him to show that level of aggression.
Yeah.
And when he decides to turn it on, he's a bucket. He added in the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just feel like when I look at a power forward right now, the ones who really can really kill, right?
Yeah.
The ones who are supposed to be there are there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, who would you say is the best top 3 power forwards in the NBA?
I mean, top 3. I look at it like this. There's 2 guys that are really gonna end up changing how this shit is played, and that's Wemby and that's Chet Holmgren.
They're not centers. You think they're power forwards?
Nah, those boys are power forwards. I don't view Wemby's just he's long and tall. I get it. But
well, if you put nose in them, then yes, I would not say Chet. I would say Wemby. Yes, wouldn't say Chet.
Chet's nice, man. Don't sleep on Chet.
Chet's nice.
Don't sleep on Chet.
He's nice.
You're playing with an MVP, so of course you're gonna have to. Some of your games will have to fall back because you're not the front man. All right, but at this moment, I'll give Cat the nod over Chet. I'm talking about at this moment. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, I presume. At this moment, I mean, shit, he's showing it. He's proven it this far in the playoffs. Hey, well, I mean, he's top 5 in the game.
You know how big it is, bro. How much confidence you know how much confidence you gotta have.
Oh yeah,
to have Jalen Brunson on your team,
yeah,
who has been been the guy. I mean, he been that guy, right? And then you see him favoring toward, I want you to do it, right? Yeah. And it's not like he's saying with his words; he's saying it with his actions.
Yeah, come on.
Because you know what I'm saying. So when you see that, bro, I'm like, when he hit that 3, I was like,
but for me, that just goes to show that these dudes are focused on winning, and they're putting the ego down. You know, a lot of these guys have egos that won't allow them to win because they won't do what's necessary to get the win. They got to win their way, and they refuse to incorporate other people. And you'll see like, damn, how is this guy so talented and can't get over the hump? It's because they refuse to incorporate their teammates, right? In a situation like that, yeah, Jalen could have been pulling and getting off, but nah, big fella got it rolling. Let's go there.
But you gotta trust that he can create. You had to trust that, you know what? I'm gonna let this 6'11" nigga dribble the ball, do his thing. That's why, and that's the difference between like the NBA and college, because still to this day, dudes will fall into a system in college, and that won't even be their game in the NBA.
For sure.
You know,
I mean, and the college coaches, they got, I mean, it's just more control, man. You get to the league, like, you know, it's just different, man. These dudes are, it's different. Your level of control is a bit tailored down, tampered down. Unless you're like a Spoelstra, you've been somewhere 20 years and you got the head man is giving you the green, it's yours. Like a lot of these guys don't have those situations. They're not legacy coaches. And when I mean legacy coaches, I mean people that have like Popovich, that have had long tenures in one place where the front office says, here are the keys, we're going to get out of it, it's your thing, and we'll watch. There's not a lot of organizations doing that.
nah, for
See what
sure.
I'm saying? So it's again, it's the players that run the league, man, and it's only so much you can do. Only so much you can do. Can you coach them really hard? It goes back to
you can't even coach them hard no more. You can't even coach them hard no more.
You can't even do it in college at the moment. But I'm of the thinking that, you know, when I get my chance to coach and show what I got, if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna do it my way. We're gonna do things a certain way. That's the only way I know how to do it. I can't sit here and let things go because I know that there's a certain level of preparedness that you got to have, a certain level of toughness, a certain level of energy that you got to play this game with, a certain level of enthusiasm you got to play this game with to give yourself a chance to win. And that's why you see a guy like Tibbs, you know, he may not be the greatest X and O guy, but he's got that energy and that passion, and his teams play like that. And I just hate, like, even just staying on that, I hate that they coming out with this narrative that he's running guys into the ground, this and that. Man, what are we talking about? Well, you think you're gonna play this game and not get tired?
You gotta understand.
It don't matter what you're doing.
Where these goddamn writers and
Tripping
fans, bro, I watched this shit. I'm like,
tripping.
where has the world gone with all these opinionated people? Like, it's insane, bro. But you know how it is, man.
Man, they tripping.
You know
tripping.
Next topic. Let's talk about the MVP, right? So let's go a little bit into this, right? So I remember, watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when he was at Kentucky, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching him at Kentucky, right? And I was like, dude, nice, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, dude, nice. I'm like, nah, he gonna. I remember there was times, right? I mean, you probably remember it too, when Kentucky wasn't even looking at him as a number one option.
Oh, for sure, they were loaded.
There was moments where he was coming down and hitting consecutive plays, like kind of like he was creating his plethora, his rotate, and he was comfortably doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I would even say, man, you know what makes it better that it's him is that his body frame, the uniqueness of his body frame makes it that much better. Because it's like,
yeah, he's not an overly huge person.
Right,
He's
overly strong guy. He's not an overly fast guy.
He's very skilled.
He's skilled.
Very skilled gentleman.
He's skilled. It's like when you look at Zion Williamson, right? People knew, man, Zion about to be, you know what I'm saying? You look at AD, he coming in, and he about to kill us, you know what I'm saying? You look at Shai, nobody would have told me. He was a one MVP that earned that shit. I mean, he earned that shit to a level.
If you watch him play, man, I'm not saying he is cold, but he shares a lot of similarities in just the footwork. You can tell he's a student of the game, just how he operates and how he uses his body, man. It's Kobe like.
Kobe-esque, 100%.
Kobe-esque, man. And
Got it.
I haven't heard too many people. This is how I know a lot of people ain't watching the games and they don't have a deep basketball knowledge, because if you watch it, you'll see glimpses of that lineage of players. You'll see a little MJ, a little Kobe in there, a lot of footwork. He's been killing people with a lot of footwork, man. And
who do you think his separation reminds you of when he gets separation? You know, his little separation. What does
man,
that remind you of? That
bro,
like
it's a mix of a lot of people, man. Because I mean, he's using principles where he's sealing guys behind them. He's probing and sealing people behind them and taking off. You know,
and then he comes back to separate if he chooses so.
if he chooses to separate, sometimes he'll just keep you on the hip, drop you off at school. You know what I mean? He's crossed a lot of different styles together, bro.
To make one unique style.
It's like it's a bit of D Wade, it's a bit of Kobe, it's a bit of AI. I mean, it's a bit of Andre Miller-ish. Like, I see a lot of different people in his game, and I think that's what makes him so tough to guard, because I mean, he's good at a lot of different things, bro.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, does his talent level, right? Does it surpass time? That's the question. Now, when I ask this question,
does it surpass
people
who?
look at, does it surpass time? So basically, LeBron James, right? People look at LeBron James, they like, man, LeBron could do this in any era. Kobe can do this in any era, right? KD can do it in any era. Stephen Curry.
I mean, you get to MVP level, bro. Like,
no, I just feel like again, this is nothing to just say, because think about this. This is just how basketball is in general. Like, it doesn't start with Shai. It starts with how the NBA has moved around his talent. Nobody expected, first of all, expected Shai to be like this when he left the Clippers. Right?
I mean, no, not MVP, no, but the Thunder knew they were getting a good player.
A good player, but to take it like you said, Kobe, right?
Yeah.
I see him putting in night hours, like, to get to where he at. Like, I can see the level of dedication and focus.
He earned it. And you telling,
I don't see it everywhere though. I don't see it in different parts of the. So now I bring this up, right? When you say, I said, pay homage to the legends, right? This may be the basketball guys.
yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, man.
Has he's one of the most talented. He can do it all, right? But his basketball IQ and understanding made me question when he said what he said about, was it who he said, none of them old niggas ain't doing nothing. Something.
He's tripping. He's tripping. He's tripping.
He's like, I don't know none of them old niggas. Like, I think when he said, like, when you say you don't know, there's George Gervin, bro, Magic Johnson, Bob, James Worth, bro.
That's when I knew that these guys, it ain't they fight. They don't care about. That ain't they fight. They don't care about paying homage. They don't care, bro. Like, these dudes, like, none of the shit they doing is new, bro. Like, you can go back and watch some Elgin Baylor, bro. You're gonna see a lot of the same footwork Jordan was using. Right? These motherfuckers ain't stuck. They don't have respect for nothing, bro.
They don't.
For him to even say that, it's like, dog, that's why listen, I'm a big person about, like, respect. You got to pay homage, bro. You got to pay homage to those that came before you, because without them, where are you getting the inspiration to do this?
I mean, bro, I agree. I agree. And I'll tell you this, it even goes past just, it goes by the way he plays, right? He plays in a sense like, you ever see like, you ever see those you ever see those warrior movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where guy may win off of the strength of the one big leader, right? But he doesn't have any concepts, any strategy. He
Exactly.
just uses his brawn, his strength, his
Exactly.
charm, and he gets through, right? Gets through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for him, people are starting to see what he's lacking.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of it. That's what Oklahoma City's doing. It's like he doesn't have a plan of attack. It's just like, man, he'll take threes, he just take wild shots, and it's not my. I mean, he's immensely talented. He's gifted. He's got a special talent. But I just think you just got to be humble, man. I think just be humble because
I think he needs to learn. Seeing him give respect to KD, I love it, right? But to give respect to KD and then disrespect all the greats before him is the same as disrespecting the people that you respect. Does that make sense?
yeah, for sure. Because I mean, come on, like I said earlier, bro, you gotta. Where do you think these guys are getting inspiration? Who you think KD was watching when he was a kid hooping? These old niggas you talking about?
Right. The nigga you said, oh niggas, I ain't fucking. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
see what I'm saying? Like, bro, I grew up and I was watching Dominique and I was watching Vince Carter, bro. I
I
was
can
watching Dominique, man.
I
I
can
fell in
tell you
love
right.
with Dominique's game, with how Dominique attacked the basket, that windmill, bro. To the point, man, that's the only dunk I really would do. I had so many variations of it. Just watching, man, I used to, man, to come through the lane and put that joint on the hip. Damn, bro, that shit intrigued me. Like, dog, he a dog.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Watching him, then I'm watching Vince. I'm like, dog, I'm trying to be that. And then when I was finally strong enough and able to do that stuff, bro, I'm gonna watch that shit. Then I'm gonna head out to the gym and I'm gonna try it. Right? That shit inspired me. I would never say, oh, them old. Nah, come on, man. I got too much love, too much respect for them dudes, bro. Because without them, I wouldn't be able to dream the dream that I dreamed, bro. I wouldn't have been able to chase it. But like I said, this is a different generation of people, man.
They don't respect nothing,
They don't
bro.
respect nothing, bro. Nothing,
It
nothing.
goes beyond basketball. This goes into life itself. These young generations don't respect nothing, but like at the same time, there's a small few who do, right?
Yeah. And you see the separation.
Right. Like for example, right? I look at Tyler Halliburton, and I look at him like it's funny. You look at Shea, you look at Tyler Halliburton. These guys wouldn't be the front runners of your picks before they got, but based off of glance, based off of eyesight, first glance, right? You would choose Anthony Edwards, right? Or somebody similar to that, like Jalen
Yeah,
Green,
yeah,
Anthony Edwards, right? First glance,
yeah,
windmill, you would pick that, right?
yeah, because it jumps off the page.
Right off the page, right? But then you see the real basketball minds. Like I watched Tyler Halliburton. He plays beautiful
He's an
basketball.
orchestrator, bro. He's a magician.
It's crazy that I'm saying it because when you look at him in college, that wasn't even the coach's expectations of him.
But
Like,
it's amazing. But this is the thing that people don't understand. It's amazing when somebody breathes life into you and you don't have to look over your shoulder. It's a thin line in the NBA. Some guys got a light where they can go out there and play through mistakes. Some guys better not make a mistake or you ain't gonna play.
coming
You get what I'm saying?
right.
Some guys can play through mistakes, and some people make a mistake they ain't playing. That's life. He got in a situation. He got out of Sacramento. He got with a coach named Rick Carlisle. Look, you do what I say, and you're gonna be successful, and you're gonna play a lot. And he learned the game. Man, Rick Carlisle don't get enough credit either. Right? Rick Carlisle, bro. I rock with Rick. Rick gonna do it his way. Rick gonna do it his way. And you see the people that buy in with Rick, he gonna have success with them. You see what I'm saying? He left that situation in Dallas and comes over here. Now who looks right? Who looks wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Rick got the point guard he need. This man is controlling games with his passing and his pace, putting himself in great position to make those type of plays. Right? They were whooping New York because New York couldn't play with the speed that they could play with. And that's what they were just racing. He would slow it down, take advantage, race it again.
So Rick Carlisle coached with Dallas.
Yeah.
Assistant. He was head coach, Dallas?
He was head coach, man.
Okay. And he was there with Luka, correct? All the time?
Yeah.
So that adds to this your basketball mind, right? The difference between a coach that matches Luka's style in comparison to a coach who doesn't have a style of his own, LA, who let him rock out. That's the difference why Luka's passes were so fucking crisp and his spacing was so crisp because you had a coach that mimicked, that had the same likelihood style. And I can see it in Halliburton because that's the comparison. Like it's the coaching style.
Now, Rick was asking Luka to do the same things that you're hearing now. Hey, man, in order to do this, I need you on this end too. Like, people don't understand that these dudes just want to play one side of the ball. This shit's not football. And this is why some players don't win because they neglect playing defense. They don't want no parts of it. They don't even get it. They don't try, bro. You would be surprised. Bro, I ain't one of these people that's going to out people and be doing that shit. I respect my brothers too much. But, man, some of these dudes could give a fuck about playing defense, bro. They will get out there and just be like, man, nah. They have no interest in it.
Yeah, flybys.
No interest in it. None. Zip. Nada. Don't care. Fuck it. Come on. Swing it over here. It's like, dog, man, you know. We seen it. The man will give you 33 and give up 38. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Can't win that way. You can't. I mean, and as talented as he is, and I hope like all the young players are paying attention to this. As talented as he is, Luka Doncic is. They're asking him to be more, be in better shape, be this, be that, play some defense. I hope these players are listening, right? Because to get in a position like that, man, and carry a city and carry a franchise, bro, you got to do it every night on both sides of the floor, man. That's what's expected of you, especially when they're giving you $300 million, bro.
100%, man. I mean, but you know, bro, there's players that he's seen. You don't got to name no names, but there's players that we've seen whereas organizations surround them with players who play exceptional defense to counteract their lack of defense. I believe that the Lakers we can't play that style of basketball with the 40-year-old man with a 40-year-old man out here and expecting him to say you like
I mean,
I'm more upset that the coaching staff actually didn't when it was trading time. How do you not pick up another weapon?
Ain't nobody's trying to help you get better. You already got Luka. Who's trying to help you get better?
It's like you got Luka, so yeah, Luka comes with more scoring, but like it's like
who can you get? Who are you going to trade out? Who on your team who would they want? That's what you got to look at. It ain't about what can we get. It's who do y'all want over here?
I would have traded between me and you. I would have traded for AR. His value was so high before playoffs. I would have got something nice for him.
For who?
But that's the thing. I would have if I could trade. If I was to trade during that time, the person who had the biggest clout where I could make money off was AR, and who I would trade him for would have to be, you know, a guy with similar values. I mean, we need a big. So the question is, what place had a big?
But the thing is this. LA messed up. JaVale McGee at home?
JaVale McGee is in PR. You
So
had a clause in that contract. He could have got him whenever they be. I
bro,
think that was. I think the trade deadline. He wasn't even in PR yet. That's the thing.
but what I'm saying is what's wrong with him? Why didn't y'all re-sign JaVale? Because it couldn't have been a money issue, and nobody else signed him either, right?
Nobody else signed him.
So what are we talking about? You were at your best when you had bigs, right? You were at your best when you had bigs. Now we try to put Anthony Davis get injured, this and that. The man telling you, like, man, I'm not
big
to be down here banging with these natural 7 foot, 280-pound folks, man. I'm not. Y'all want to play small ball? He's not a center. His advantage comes from these small fours, like Draymond guarding them. These 6'8" small fours, not these these Valanciunises, these 290-pound folks that bang. He can't go up with no Steven Adams, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We need more Valanciunas. We need more Nikola Jokic's. We need more Rudy Gobert's. We need more Steven Adams. We need more of these big. I'm not tired. I have nothing against the new 5'4s, right? But can we just accept these 5'4" tweeners? They're just fours.
Why do we all have to play the same style?
Everybody wants to play the same now.
Why? Like, bro,
right?
I grew up, man.
He made it look cool.
The style matched the city, man. Like,
but you gotta understand. But we live in a generation. Think about even outside of basketball. We live in a generation where dudes don't want to think for themselves. They want to wear the same.
Yeah, it's copycat for sure. It's copycat, and it's just easier to just.
They want to wear the same thing, right? They want to play the same way. They don't even want to learn the origin of how this player learned how to play this. They just want to copy everything he do.
That's it. Clip farm. I got guys watching highlights and don't know why these guys are doing the things they do in the highlights. I asked, why you think he pulled that move out? I don't know. It's just you think he just did it because
you asked him with a move. That's KD move. No, that's some Hardaway's move.
Yeah. They don't know about a Hardaway crossover. Y'all think this shit was invented today? Because they don't research. They don't. They'll tell you, oh, he got, why did he do that move? Why do you think he did that move? Nah, because it was just you don't even know what he was looking at. You don't know. Man, it's
they don't know option 2, option 3.
Exactly. And we wonder why these kids aren't really taking advantage. We wonder why everybody's saying that the game over here is watered down and the European game is taking over. It's because they put more focus in learning the game of basketball than we do. We gloss over it because it's boring. The shit we find boring, they eating it up. They learning how to play this game from a technical standpoint, and once their athleticism and everything catches up, they got you beat.
So let me ask you. So you think the youth of the international world are more fundamentally sound than the youth of right now in high school? Do you think?
Yeah, man. These dudes is playing too many games, dog. That's all they want to do is play games.
Yeah, I really feel like and I bring up this play because I look at this play and I feel like that is an epitome of the young generation. And I'll tell you what play I'm talking about. I'm talking about the play in the championship, right? Where the coach didn't draw up shit. He went to that play and said, hey, my boy, do your thing, bro. you the one.
Move out the way, baby. Y'all clear it out and let him do it.
Let him do his thing. Like
you can't help him. You can't help him get up. You feel it? I feel like my job as a coach is to help you. Listen, you can be as skilled and as talented as you want to be. My job is still as a coach to make that easier for you. Let me help you get 15 points. You can get the other 15.
This is my issue right here, right? We all knew that young black brother was not letting him beat him no matter what the fuck was going to happen on a 1-on-1. So you know what I would have did? he would have been on the other side of the corner. He would have came baseline off 2 fucking screens, gave that big brother some space. He would have came around with a little space and then did his move. They literally said, "Don't do shit. Everybody walked away. Let him get the ball, and then just
do it the hard way. Do it the hard way. The hardest way we possibly can do it.
right
That's the way.
the hardest possible way." And it's such an important bucket. Like that's it.
And then listen, I can go on and on about both the coaching game and the player development, but I look at it like this. If you got one of those high-end guys, you got the luxury of doing that.
Yeah, because it's a hit or miss, but to me, it's like that's the difference between Mike Krzyzewski and that guy. Mike Krzyzewski
is gonna make it easy.
Is gonna be like, okay, Cooper, the other wing, right? He even may say run up the top.
Yeah, you may be a decoy this play.
Right. Or maybe he did decoy, right? He may be the third screener. He may run through the double screen the other guy to come, knows. But another thing, Tyrese, just speaking on that game in the coaching style, right? I like the kid Tyrese Proctor, but to me, he's an example of some of these colleges. I don't think they're developing. In my career, some of these colleges are not developed. I'm just saying, like, I remember back in the day when Mike Krzyzewski had all these guys, right? And I could see the players developing, being
they also stayed multiple years too. So
right, develop, right.
Duke was doing their thing a little differently, man. Nobody can tell me any different. Okay, they were taking care of their guys in more ways than one. So it wasn't like they were needed to leave and run. They were cool. They were cool.
Nah, for sure.
And also, man, a lot of the time, it's again ego. Sometimes you gotta listen, man. Sometimes we just gotta develop as a team. Let's work on our skills. Sometimes they put too much into the system, and they don't tinker the system to the players that they have on their roster. So it looks like they're underdeveloped because you're running one system that it doesn't matter who's here, we're going to do this. Some players may not be able to get that. You may not have a roster to do that this year. Maybe you got to tweak a few things to make it fit the roster that you have. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of it.
I feel like, obviously, everybody's adjusting to the game. Everything's changing. Nothing's going to be the same. But, I would just say, people got to be held accountable. Basketball's still basketball. You know what I'm saying? Kids are still kids. Just because you want that kid to be Michael Jordan right now, don't make him Michael Jordan right now. That kid's still a kid. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the assumption where, I think overall, just like what comes great power, comes great responsibility. And I just feel like it goes beyond just the money. It goes beyond a way of thinking. When you get that kind of money, you can be a kid or not. You that guy. You're gonna think, I don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I think there should be ways around it, man. But I would say for today, man, I think we had to touch a couple topics, man, couple different things that people want to see. Definitely thank everybody for watching. Check
you guys
out on YouTube at Skyrise Podcast. And I'm good, man. Anything to say? Closing out?
Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. Man, even asking some questions in the comments, man. We'll definitely get back to them on the next show. And we interact with the people. Because we trying to do this and grow this thing organically and naturally and have real discussions, man. So we appreciate any feedback. And hey, man, just be blessed and be safe out there.
All right, fellas, you guys take it easy.